It's a supplement that you can take that blocks iron absorption. So if you're eating a big meal of red meat, you can take that with the meal. You're going to get less iron, and in turn you're going to get less red blood cell accumulation. How can we manage higher red blood cells without donating blood? Well, firstly, I'm going to say if your levels are high, don't donate blood. I hate needles. Like, I literally have a phobia of it. People always think I'm joking, but put it this way. When I go, if I need to go to the doctor or if I have to do a surgery or so, I am nearly in tears when they put a needle in my arm. And trust me, I gain nothing by telling you guys that. I am just saying I absolutely hate needles. But if your red blood is too high, you need to go and donate blood. If you are banned from a local donation place because maybe you said you do use medications with a needle, which you shouldn't, read that sheet carefully. You don't say. The funniest story I have, man, I went out and gave blood once, and the lady, there's a question, and the question is, have you ever had sexual contact with another male? Like, are you homosexual? I take, no, I have not. And she looks at it, she reads it, she looks at me again, and she reads the question again, like she was doubting me. I guess maybe because I have the muscles, I don't know. But yeah, as long as you fill out the form correctly, they will take your blood. Trust me, they test your blood already before they give it to anybody, and you taking some testosterone, basically you taking nearly any medication is not going to hurt anybody. God, if somebody needs blood, trust me, whatever little residue of a drug there is in your system, it's not going to hurt them. They need the blood. So you're doing a good thing to donate blood. I mean, you really are. And the great thing about donating blood, never mind the red blood cells. I said this in a previous video to Sal's question about TRT, but I have a disorder, as about 50% of Northern Europeans do, where I store more iron. I only have one gene for it, so it's not too bad, but I went through a period where I had to donate blood, especially when I was taking more testosterone when I was younger and really heavily into more extreme bodybuilding. I would have to go and give blood because my levels were getting a little too high, and then we found out that my iron levels were too high, and that can destroy your blood vessels. Men don't lose blood every month like a female who has her period, obviously. So we start storing this iron. Nearly so many things that we eat have iron. Spinach, meat, it's all got iron. Even people are cooking in iron cookware. So we have a lot of iron in our body, and this iron, it can damage the blood vessels and the organs in the body. Blood donation lowers that. It gets that iron out of your system. So I do advise giving blood, 100%. And you mentioned the range is like 17-ish, that's fine. Up to 19. 19's not so fine. Once you get over, my rule is kind of like 18. If you're over 18, you need to give blood. Once you've got your levels down, then yes, now we can do some things to try and keep the levels down. So the first thing is IP6. So that's the letter I, the letter P, and the number 6. It's the name. It's a supplement that you can take that blocks iron absorption. So if you're eating a big meal of red meat, you can take that with the meal. You're going to get less iron, and in turn you're going to get less red blood cell accumulation. Now, is it going to totally fix it? Probably not, but it can help. Besides that, cardio. That is huge. Even if it means just freaking power walking outside. Like, I tell you, the huge difference for me, when I was younger and was super into extreme bodybuilding and was very heavy and big, I mean, we're talking about a 20-pound difference, not more than that. But back then, I did everything I could to be as anabolic as possible, meaning I didn't do any cardio, I didn't walk outside. I'd only do cardio if I was prepping for a show, because I would easily lose weight. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Once you get to your body to a certain size, it becomes a real pain in the ass to manage the body. You know, for me, managing 230 pounds, it's like night and day. So easy compared to over 250 on so many levels. So that's a thing to keep into account. So cardio, especially some high intensity cardio. There is a reason that endurance athletes will dope with EPO, which increases your red blood cells, because doing endurance exercise of any kind, it's going to reduce your red blood cells overall. So if you do some cardio, you eat meals with IP6, and then you donate blood, then you'll be totally good. You can obviously reduce foods that have too much iron in it. You can reduce how many drugs you're taking if you're taking a load of drugs. If you're taking something like decadurablin, an nandrolone, which a company like Premier can prescribe. Even if you're taking, let's say, 200 milligrams a week with your regular sports TRT, that can kind of amplify things and shoot your red blood cell count up higher. But it should be easy to fix. Every pint you donate generally drops the hemo by 1 point. That's the rule of thumb that I've come across. So if you're 19, you probably will be best off to give a double red blood cell donation, because that's like giving 2 at once, and you'll drop to like about 17, and that's very manageable. Try and keep yourself, between 16 to high 17s. I mean, having a little bit higher is good. It helps with endurance. It's, it's a good thing. But especially with the COVID and the blood clot issues, I've seen people literally age 26 have strokes. Yeah, it's like absolutely crazy stuff. I know people have different opinions on whatever they want, but I'll tell you one thing that's not up for debate, and that is that there are a lot of issues, and having thick blood is a major risk factor. So do donate blood. The IP6 is literally on the bottom of the list for me. It goes donate blood, do the cardio. You can use the IP6 if you want. You can reduce the iron containing foods if you want, but you do need to first get that number down. And you can also take fish oil, not to reduce it, just to keep your blood thin. I have several clients that are medical professionals, like actually quite a few, you'd be surprised maybe. And they all say, take an aspirin every day around this COVID time. Even if you haven't had COVID, take an aspirin. It'll help thin the blood. So between that, and there's another supplement, I don't know if I'll say it right, nattokinase, I believe. If you don't understand, if that doesn't make sense, just ask me in the comments and I'll type it out. But it's a supplement that Dante Trudel talked about. I looked it up. It also helps thin the blood, and anything we can do that decreases clotting risk, we want to do. So I hope that helps, dude. But don't be scared to give blood, man. Or it's good for you, because not just to bring down the hemo, also to get the iron out of the body. Like that's the real thing I see anyway, because that's so many guys, they never get it fixed. The iron just keeps building over the years, and it just deteriorates. It just rips. Think about it like little particles of iron and metal flowing through your blood vessels and your organs. Yeah, that's going to do some damage after a while if there's a lot of it.